It's the Syracuse Titans, the 14th seed in the 6A Baseball State Championship Tournament, taking on the 6th-seeded Riverton Silverwolves in our last matchup of the first day of bracket play here at UCCU Field. Hello everyone, JT Wistersill with you on the call tonight for what should be a fantastic game. It's our fourth game of the day, as I mentioned. The winner of this one goes on to play American Fork, who just knocked off Westlake 9-3. The loser will face off against Westlake in that loser's bracket game. It's our first game of the day tomorrow. That one's scheduled for 11 o'clock. That showdown between the Westlake and the loser of this one, and it will be an elimination game too. So it will be interesting to monitor the outcome of this one. Riverton comes in this one 18-5 on the season. Last year's state champions earned the 6th seed for Syracuse. They were 15-14 and secured the upset over Fremont in a 3-game series victory that we will dive into later on. But while we have an opportunity, I want to give you the lineups. First, talking about the Titans. For Riverton in the field, it's going to be Cooper Hansen gets the start on the mound, then Caden Allred at catcher, Alex Vernon at first, Dylan Tulio at second, Steric Moritz at short, Drake Purcell in left field, Remington Robbins in left field, Easton Hicks in center field, and Carson Moody in right field. As for the bats for Syracuse, it'll be Austin Burton, followed by Tatum Martin, Brock Hopkins on deck, with Target Hamblin batting at the cleanup spot. Carson Mills will bat fifth. First ball delivered is a strike. Jake Hopkins will bat sixth, followed by Isaac Turley, Kyson Curtis, Dawson Raymond, and Dom Jontakis at the pitcher for them. This one fouled off, unplayable. Oh-2 the count early. This line drive hauled in right away, as Morkins is all over it. Morzingo makes the grab. The first out of the day as he retires Burton. On the line drive. 0-1 the count. One out in the top of the first. Silverwolves team, as I mentioned, championship experience after winning last year's crown. They're led by head coach Jay Applegate, who in 24 years with the Silverwolves, 356 career wins, 220 losses. As for Syracuse head coach Trevor Thomas, 6 years, 59 wins, 88 losses. 0-2 the count. Make it 1-2 on the ball delivery that time around. Martin goes down swinging. Oh, excuse me, he did foul it off, so they'll reset it. 1-2 the count remains. And then they're able to retire him just a pitch later. The Silverwolves dugout and fans are vocal here early. 2 outs already. Cooper Hansen has his first strikeout of the day. Brock Hopkins now due up. Delivers the first ball high. Two-0 the count. First strike after that one's fouled off. Hopkins, the second baseman. Now sits ahead and count 3-1 after a couple off-target deliveries from Hansen. No leadoff hitter has yet to reach base today. But Hopkins able to reach base via the walk there. Taggart Hamblin now due up. This could be our first time today as well. We've seen any team make it beyond their first 3 batters to begin play. Pickoff attempt at first was nearly successful. Silverwolves thought they had it. Hansen already with 1 strikeout. Another pickoff opportunity. And that time, they'll call a balk. Wow. So what I believe is a balk. An unfortunate sequence of events for the Silverwolves. Hamblin yet to even receive a pitch here early. This is the Silverwolves team on the season, claimed the Region 3 crown after going 12-3 in regular season play. They scored 141 runs and only allowed 54 by comparison, 18-5 on the season. First pitch is fouled off. 18 wins overall in the season, just 5 losses, 216 runs scored and 101 allowed on the season. As for Syracuse, they finished smack dab in the middle of the pack in Region 1, going 9-9 in region play, scoring 115 runs, allowing 127. They were 15-4 in region play, scoring 188 runs, allowing 189. Then that upset against Fremont. The Silverwolves were 17-1 going into that series. They were able to claim the upset and find themselves in this position. Hamblin currently trails in the count 1-2 with Hopkins at second. And another strikeout, 2 to begin the night for Cooper Hansen. Silverwolves on the offensive when we return to UCCU Ballpark on KSL Sports Rewind.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Rain coming down here at UCCU Ballpark. We turn it over to the bats of the Silverwolves in a moment, but first want to give you the lineup defensively for the Titans. Tatum Martin at catcher, Taggart Hamblin at first, Brock Hopkins at second, Isaac Turley at third, Burton at short, Jake Hopkins in left field, Dawson Raymond in center field, and Kyson Curtis in right field with John Atticus on the mound for the Titans. Riverton, Caden Allred will lead off. Zach Edwards on deck. Drake Persall batting third with Alex Vernon batting cleanup. Dylan Zulo will bat fifth, followed by Carson Moody, Remington Robinson, and Cooper Hansen and Easton Hicks round out the order for the Silverwolves. Mentioned the winner of this game will be in action at 4:30 tomorrow, taking on American Fork. The loser will take on Westlake in an elimination game. 1-1 the count. Low delivery that time. The Silverwolves dug out, extremely vocal here early. This one launched into left field, but will be easily collected, as barely having to move was Jake Hopkins. Hopkins, also the Titans' starting quarterback. That'll bring up Zach Edwards in a moment with one out.
This dude looks like a man.
This ball's fouled off. Looks like it's going to be unplayable, but still gave good effort that time around. It's the first meeting of the season between Riverton and Syracuse. Syracuse, as I alluded to a moment ago, did have a very improbable path to reach this position. Count goes to 1-1. During the regular season, they lost to Fremont 4-1 in the first game, 9-2 in the second, and 6-0 in the final contest of the regular season that those teams faced off against one another. 2-1 now, the score. Also rain beginning to come down heavier in the field to play. John Atkins brings the count to 2-2 with strike delivery. And Fremont took care of business against Syracuse in that first game, 9-0. They beat the Titans. This ball's fouled back into the net. Fremont added 2 runs in the bottom of the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. They had 9-0 advantage. They had 12 hits overall to none for the Titans. Titans could have folded up, backs against the wall, going against the team. That's the 3 seed in 6A, but they bought in and toughed it out and got a narrow 2-1 victory. Low delivery there brings us to full count now. To force a game 3 in that game, Syracuse scored a run in the top of the first and added 1 in the top of the fourth. And after that, we were scoreless the rest of the way. Hamblin brought in a huge run. And speaking of runs and base hits, we're going to have one as Edwards situated on first and nearly got a little too far off the base. Had to retreat back there after a moment, but Edwards on a well-hit ball up the middle reaches base safely. The first base hit of the day for either side comes for the Silverwolves. That came after full count too. Drake Persall now due up. I mentioned Hopkins, 7 strikeouts in that one. Pitching was sensational by Hopkins. And then in that final game, the 6-2 victory that allowed them to secure the upset at the Silverwolves. Syracuse got off to a hot start and never looked back. They scored at least 1 run in the first 4 innings. In fact, they scored 2 in the top of the first. So sit 1-0 in the count with 1 out. And they held the Silverwolves scoreless until the 4th and the 5th, but only 2 runs added and 1 more for extra insurance in the top of the 7th. Ended the Silverwolves' strong season. Fremont finished the year 22-5, while Syracuse continues to fight on and finds themselves here. Raymond, Martin, Hopkins, and Hamblin all brought in a run or 2 in that contest, as an unsuccessful pickoff attempt is delivered to help Syracuse fend off the Fremont Silverwolves and find themselves in this game. John Atkins delivers a ball just to the outside. 2-0 the count now. Persall with no strikes yet. And another just to the outside on the delivery by John Atkins. Count at 3-0. The most challenging conditions any pitcher has had to face today currently going on right here. On our cold, rainy night. Pickoff attempt down to first, unsuccessful again. Allred flew out to left field. Edwards with the base hit into shallow right. First strike of the at-bat delivered that time by John Atticus, excuse me. On the count. It's fouled off. Edwards was ready to fly on contact. Because of the foul off, we've now reached full count for the second straight batter. Titans were held scoreless in the top of the first. Silverwolves locked in early. Looking to pour some runs on, just like the pouring rain coming down. UCCU ballpark. Persall able to walk over. They tried to make the pickoff attempt, but he would have been able to be safe either way because of the walk. So Persall, the first walk of the day. Both pitchers now allowed to walk in our first inning. So 2 runners on base, just 1 out. With Alex Vernon due up. So Edwards at second, Persall at first. Silverwolves teams, we mentioned that championship experience that can pay off a lot come this time of the season in late May. High delivery by John Atticus. Vernon looking to make a big play for his team. (2-0) the count. Vernon wisely lets the outside ball go. Ball number 3 now. As John Atticus still trying to find himself early in the goings of this game. (3-0) the count. Strike 1 is delivered, so now the count at 3-1, and with 1 out, as we see a timeout quick. I believe the Titans bench had said something. Can't hear everything going on up here in the booth, obviously, but there's a discussion going on at the moment. Through on the count, 2 runners on base. Vernon looking to join them and load the bases. Instead, we'll have full count for the 3rd straight batter. What a crazy start here early. Full count. Going down, swinging is Vernon. Titans 1 out away from getting back on the offensive.
That brings up the second baseman, number 6, Dylan Zulo.
Dylan Zulo. Zulo looking to bring in some runners here. Instead, he'll foul it off to bring the count to 1-1. How about that? 3 straight batters reaching full count. It'll be interesting to see if Zulo does so here. As a reminder, the loser in this one set for action right away. Just a little over 12 hours away from right now at 11 a.m. Our first game of the day. The loser of this one takes on Westlake. Then it'll be Pleasant Grove taking on Bingham in our second elimination game. And American Fork taking on the winner of this one in our first winner's bracket game of the 6A Baseball State Championship Tournament. Strike 2 is through. So Zulo in danger of being the second consecutive strikeout that Dom John Atticus acquires here early. And they'll call it strike 3. Wow. A big-time performance by Dom John Atticus as he gets Syracuse out of it, leaving 2 runners stranded on base. We turn it over to the top of the second, still scoreless in this one, but it's early. Stay with us on KSL Sports Rewind.
The company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Welcome back into a rainy UCCU ballpark, normally the home of Utah Valley University. For this week, home to the 2023 6A Baseball State Championship Tournament. Riverton left 2 runners stranded on base, and now they're back on the defensive. Syracuse back up to bat. Carson Miles, the DH, due up after Taggett Hamblin struck out. 1-1 the count. Strike 2. It's delivered by Hanson. And they get a second consecutive strikeout and his third of the day after closing out the third with 1. This ball is launched into foul territory. This is a Syracuse team that started the year with losses to Canyon View, Uinta, Spanish Fork, and Snow Canyon, all those on the road. People were wondering if they'd be able to get it better after the tough start. Count goes to 2-2. They were able to do so, getting wins against Woods Cross before entering region play. Finished just about 500 in region play, but ended up getting hot when it mattered most. Miles goes down there watching for strike number 1. It's amazing the difference in speed between Cooper Hanson, how quickly, as soon as those batters are set, he's ready to rifle in pitches. As for Dom John Atticus, likes to wait a little bit longer and take his time. Strike 1 delivered by Hanson. Jake Hopkins, Titans left fielder, now due up, and he's quickly fallen to 0-2 in the count. And Syracuse really struggling with Hanson here early. Could be 2 outs. Instead, it could be a base hit, but it's fielded cleanly by Mazzano. And he gets it over to first, but not in time. The speedy Hopkins beats the throw.
That brings up the third baseman, number 4, Isaac Turley.
Isaac Turley now due up, the third baseman. Turley now due up. That strike one pass. Blistering heater for Hansen here early. He was just hit by Hopkins. But we see most of the Titans batters struggle with it. High delivery on that bout. One and one with one out and one runner on, and Hopkins at first. That one squeezes away from Allred, and it allows Hopkins to easily make it over to second. 2-1 the count after the ball delivery. Turley waiting the delivery. See a quick time. This is Silverwolves team. Got off to a blistering hot start. They defeated Sky Ridge 6-2. Back-to-back dominant wins against Davis. Knocked off Lone Peak 2. But then American Fork was able to get a little bit of revenge for that state championship game last year. American Fork won that one 17-9. Then in Region 3 play, the back and forth bout. This one rocketed into right field, tracked for, and unable to make a grab, losing it in the rain. Out there was Moody. And the Titans decide to hold up Hopkins. Excuse me. Get Hopkins at third. But Turley with a booming double to land on second. So two base runners on, just one out now for Syracuse, who's upset hungry here early against the Silverwolves. Tyson Curtis, the right fielder, now due up with two runners in scoring position. Just the one out still. Curtis has the first pitch pass him. Riverton did lose an early series to Copper Hills for two of their losses. As the count goes to 0-2. The swinging and missing was Curtis. They also lost a game to Mountain Ridge. And then in postseason play, we're able to defeat Lone Peak in two straight games, 11-10 and 14-4. A diving grab made in spectacular fashion, and another out made over at third, courtesy of a force out. Wow, what a turn of events for the Silverwolves. A dynamic double play wouldn't have been possible without the Mazzano diving grab at short. That moves us into the bottom of the second. Riverton making plays on the defensive end.
Okay. Okay. Yun ang malawagan siya after sa kapatid ko na bialawa kung ito dala.
Bottom of the second set to get underway. Any second. The Titans look to be in strong position to take an early lead, but the dazzling play made by the Riverton Silverwolves. So Stein and Zingo make the diving grab at shortstop. And then got it over the third in the nick of time to make the double play. and get Riverton out of the inning, surrendering no runs. Due up for the Silverwolves is Carson Moody, Remington Robbins, and Cooper Hansen. Know the count. Outside delivery. Leads to 2-0 now. As Dom John Atticus was leaving the mound in our previous inning as he prepares to fire in the next pitch. He hit the Silverwolves bench with the McGregor swag rock as he exited after they were egging him on a little bit. 3-0 the count here. And the first strike delivery of the inning. Moody allows it to pass. It was back-to-back strikeouts by John Atticus. Silverwolves stranded on base. A stretch in that first inning where he went 3 straight batters where he reached full count. Moody makes his way over to first via the walk. Second of the day given up by John Atticus. Had some low-scoring games a lot today. A few high-scoring ones too. Mentioned our first game of the day, one that kind of put us behind schedule. That's part of the reason this one is being played so late. It was a 1-0 game that wasn't resolved until the bottom of the 8th. Strike one delivered by John Atticus. Robinson. Waits the delivery. Fouled off to bring the count to 0-2. Riverton was 25-8 last season. On an impressive run in the postseason tournament. Beating the likes of Bingham, Pleasant, Grove, Taylorsville as well. Also defeating Layton in competitive fashion. Another ball fouled off to stay alive by Robbins. As we said, American Fork won that first game 3-2 over the Silverwolves, but then the Silverwolves poured it on in the second 18-8, and then used an 8-3 advantage in the final game to claim the 2022 state championship. John Atticus just high on that delivery to the outside for ball one. Robbins. Pickoff attempt is way off the mark. And wisely choosing to stay settled in at second was Moody. 2-2 the count amidst the chaos. Robbins, 2-2 in the count. The potential leading run, the first of the day, in Moody, situated at second. High delivery to bring us to full count. As mentioned a little bit ago, these conditions not easy to pitch in. Wind working strong. Rain coming down pretty hard too. But Atticus, despite all that, looking for his third K. In his last 4 batters faced. And loses control of that one to the inside. And because of it, Robinson heads to first via the walk. Cooper Hansen will now be due up. Hansen, the opposing pitcher, off to a strong start himself. He's had some fun pitching battles today. Whether it be battles inside the mound or pitchers facing off against each other with one in the mound and one in the box. See how Hansen handles the pressure here. 2 runners on base, 1 out. Hansen shows bunt. He's trying to lay it right down that third base line. Now 0-1 in the count after fouling it off. His bunt successful. It's a foot race over to first, and barely able to win it in the nick of time for the Titans, as Hansen is retired, but his bunt was successful and advanced both runners. 2 outs now in the inning. Does a good job that time. Taggart Hamblin coming off of first to cover it up and get it over to Brock Hopkins, who flew over from second to cover up the base paths. Easton Hicks now due up. Hicks rips one into right field, and it's going to drop. It's going to bring in not 1, but 2 runs for the Silverwolves as they take the early 2-0 advantage in the bottom of the second. Hicks wasting no time, unlocking the hit stick and launching one into shallow right field. It's the 9th batter in the order with the biggest play so far today, as it's a 2-0 Silverwolves advantage here early. That'll bring it back up to Caden Allred. Last time we saw Allred, he flew out into left field. Allred on the season, at least according to the stats. No runs brought in, no doubles, no triples, and home runs. Going to make some big plays for his team here with 2 outs in the inning, though. He's got to be careful. Allred allows the first pitch to pass him because he's in the dirt. One of the count. Allred. And diving safely back to first is Hicks. Two hits apiece for each team, but those 2 runs for Riverton, the difference to none for the Titans here early. The dead center delivery for strike number 2. Allred checks first, refocuses. And another pickoff attempt to first. Another unsuccessful pickoff attempt, too. This one launched into center field, going high, and an opportunity to collect it by Raymond. And he was able to do it. Our graphic showed 2 outs, but I guess that was the second out right there. So Board in the outfield had 2 outs up. And not being the case, is already retired for the second time. He flew out into right field there. And they are correct. I believe that was just the second out, so the board operators and myself had it incorrect. So 2 outs now in the inning. Going for second and sliding in safely that time. He slid over the bag, but able to keep his hand on it. Wisely was Zach Edwards. Edwards, 22 runs brought in on the season. He's tied for the most on this Silverwolves team. Also has 10 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 home runs. Those pickoff attempts are going to be tough to come by in this game. Just because behind catcher to home, you just got behind catcher going all the way to second. It's just a long way to go, especially in these weather conditions. And as I mentioned, it is continuing to pour here. 2-0, the differential for ball and strikes. Last time we saw Edwards, he reached base after notching the first hit of the day when he lifted one in the shallow center field. Edwards crushes one straight up in the air. Called for and collected. Tatum Martin from the catcher spot makes the grab. Leaves the Silverwolves stranded on base, but 2-0, damage done. We shift into the third. Riverton in front over Syracuse early.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 3 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Third inning set to get underway here shortly. And it's the Riverton Silverwolves who currently lead the Syracuse Titans 2-0 through 2 innings so far. Titans will welcome Dawson Raymond up to bat, the center fielder, and then they'll turn it back over with Austin Burton and Tatum Martin representing the top of the order for them. As they look to get back into this one. Currently trailing at the moment. Raymond shows bunt. It's fielded cleanly. All red. Bounced up from his catcher's spot. Like a spring. Quickly and ready to pounce on it. And collected it and retired Raymond almost as soon as he walked up to home plate. Got to bring up Austin Burton once again. Burton was retired. On a long line drive. Over to short. Burton on the season, 7 runs brought in, 5 doubles, 1 triple, and 29 games played in total. 2-0 the count now. As always, Hansen wasting no time delivering those pitches. That one low and in the dirt. Already had to jump once again, but that time just to get on top of it. This ball lifted in the left field, and it'll take a bounce before it's collected. Going for it, and deciding to turn back rather than risk it close At second is Austin Burton. That'll bring up Tatum Martin. Martin on the season, 12 runs brought in, 9 doubles, 1 triple, and 29 games played overall. First pitch is fouled back into the net. It's a tying run at home plate now. And Martin, who struck out the first time we saw him. Martin and the Titans trying to continue to find the momentum they found in their successful series upset against the Silverwolves. Still crazy to think they didn't score a run in that first game and then be able to come back and respond with 2 straight victories. 1-1 the count. Two and one on the outside delivery. Martin dodges that one to the inside, brings the count to 3-1. Hanson looking to get back on track, hasn't walked anyone since the third batter he faced in Hopkins. It's a low ball, trapped in the dirt, and that'll lead to a walk for Martin. Speaking of walks, Brock Hopkins was the first walk of the day, surrendered by Hanson. He's due up now, 2 runners on base. Still just a lone out in the inning. Hopkins on the season, 9 runs brought in, 4 doubles, 1 home run. Hanson high on the first delivery. Syracuse currently with 3 hits to still just 2 for Riverton, but of course that one from Hicks being the difference as it drove in 2 runs for the Silverwolves. Strike delivered to even the count at 1 apiece. Burton at second, Martin at first, Hamblin, Miles, and Hopkins on deck and in the hole respectively. Hanson shows bunt. Excuse me. Hopkins shows bunt, but then pulls back. 2-1 the count. Hopkins thought about swinging on strike 2, decided not to. Silverwolves got out of the previous inning, leaving runners on base. Looking to strand a few more Titans here. The 2-2 delivery, Hanson. So it's fouled off, so we'll do it all again. Hanson delivers a pitch high, so we'll go to full count with 2 runners on base. And the outside delivery by Hanson means the bases are loaded with just 1 out. Back walks as Martin and Hopkins both afforded the same luxury. Tiger Hamblin now due up. He struck out in his first plate appearance. Hamblin skies one into right field. It's collected, but going home is Burton. Burton, using his speed, going to be able to beat the throw. And just like that, the Titans now trail by one, courtesy of the sacrifice fly from Taggart Hamblin. For Hamblin, that's his team-leading 32nd run driven in on the season. Looks like 9 doubles and 2 home runs. Won't raise either of those stats there, but does bring in a run, a much-needed one.
Number 16, Carson Miles.
And it also allowed Martin to make it over to third, so the tying run now over on second. Or excuse me, now over at third. Miles struck out in his first plate appearance. On the season, 14 runs brought in for Miles. 5 doubles. Pickoff attempt down to third, unsuccessful. Hansen finds the zone for strike number 1. Miles rips one into right field, high in the air, and it's collected by center fielder Easton Hicks. Hicks, who gave a 2-0 advantage for the Silverwolves, helps prevent the Titans from taking the lead over Riverton. Bottom of the second, 2-1 the score after the Syracuse added one in the top of the third.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Two to one, the differential between the Silverwolves and the Titans. The bottom of the third set to get underway any second.
Playing third base, number 9,
For Riverton,
Pearsall.
so that is going to be Drake Pearsall. It's 0-1 in the count after swinging at the first ball. Delivered by John Atkins. Self-delivery that time for ball 2. Pearsall on the season, 22 runs brought in, 12 doubles, and 3 home runs. Ahead in the count, 2-1. As Riverton gets to raise their lead back up to 2 runs. And back at 2s after the swing and the miss by Pearsall there. Walked in his first plate appearance after reaching for out. He's 1 ball away from doing so again against Atticus. Swinging and missing is Pearsall as he is retired. Third strikeout of the day for John Atticus. Alex Verdon now due up. Vernon struck out the last time we saw him. Vernon on the season, 19 runs driven in, 2 doubles and a home run. Rain still coming down pretty heavy out there, along with the wind still whistling. Outside delivery on the first ball. One and one the count. Ball's cracked into right field, giving chase, and unable to make a diving grab on it out there was Curtis. And it's going to turn into a double for Vernon. Vernon making plays for the Silverwolves. Riverton looking to extend their lead. A great opportunity to do it with just one out and a runner on second now. Dylan Zulo now due up. Zulo launches one. Down the third baseline. It just ended up in foul territory. Or excuse me, it was actually caught and collected. It was hit so quickly, I lost it with my own eye. So just like that, 2 outs now. Zulo retired just as quickly as he's made his way there. He brought 19 runs in on the season, had 8 doubles, but unable to do anything. Moody now due up. Had a walk the last time we saw him. Moody on the season, 14 runs brought in, 2 doubles. 0-1 the count. Moody takes a big hack, gets nothing. He's now 0-2 in the count. Each team with 3 hits apiece. Moody trying not to leave Vernon stranded on second, but in danger of doing so here. Wide delivery that time for ball number 1. One, two, the delivery. And it's fouled off. Fighting to stay alive is Moody. John Atticus checks behind him, looking for his 4th strikeout of the day and retire Riverton without allowing them to raise their advantage. Pickoff attempt down to second, unsuccessful. So the count remains at 1-2. Two outs looming large over the Silverwolves. The Titans with an opportunity to get out of the inning on the delivery here. John Atticus has done it again. He leaves a runner stranded on base and gives Riverton and forces Riverton back to the defensive end and brings the Titans back up to bat as they look to break through and take a lead.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Jake Hopkins, Isaac Turley, and Kyson Curtis all due up for the Titans. We're looking to break through and retie this game up. Top of the fourth. Action has arrived here at UCCU Ballpark. Appreciate all of you who have stuck it out with us today at various points. And we'll be back with you tomorrow for 4 more exciting games on deck. First ball's fouled off. The outside delivery brings the count to 1-1. Reaching, and it bouncing around on third is another base hit for Hopkins. Hopkins has been a force for Syracuse all season long. Overall, 9 runs brought in, 4 doubles, and a home run, and lands on base after that well-placed ball that bounced off third base. Isaac Turley now due up. Pickoff attempt down to first, unsuccessful. The tying run, and Hopkins now residing on first. That delivery slightly high that time. Rain still pouring on here at UCCU Ballpark. Both teams forced to battle the elements and each other. 4 innings remaining in this tightly contested contest. Count moves to 1-1 on the strike delivery. Turley takes a big hack, gets nothing. Cooper Hansen still dialed in on the mound, neither side with any pitchers even occupying, or any bodies, I should say, occupying the bullpen. Outside delivery brings the count to 2-2. Turley, the last time we saw him, ripped one into right field. Overall in the season, Turley's brought in 8 runs, has 2 doubles and 2 triples, but no homers on the season. Now would be a perfect time for one of those. Instead, he fouled it back off his body, so the count will remain at 2-2. Turley taps home plate, resets, ready for the delivery from Hansen. And he goes down swinging. Look at the heat. It may be a cold night out here in Orem, but Hansen continues to bring the heat on the mound. Now up to 4 strikeouts on the day for him. First out of the inning. Hopkins still situated at first. Curveball gets away from him that time. Curtis, last time we saw him, he had that line drive he directed to Mazzano at third, who then threw it over to, or at short, who then threw it over to third for the double play. It's fouled off. One and one the count. Curtis with 11 runs brought in on the season and 2 doubles. Oasis delivery. Takes a hack and gets nothing. 1-2 the count now shifts. Count will be even back up at 2 on the outside delivery that time. Pickoff attempt down to first, unsuccessful. Curtis cracks one in the right field, foul area. So 2-2, our count remains with just one out. It'll be Curtis, then Raymond, who's in the hole, and then we'll turn it back over to the top of the order as play rolls on here at UCCU Ballpark. A swing and a miss. Oh, but it was just tipped off the bat. It looked like it was going to be strike 3. But must have been just a slight deflection that time that allows Curtis to remain in the batter's box. Curtis looking to join Hopkins on base. Hanson is hit. The chopper fielded cleanly, and the force out at second is successful. They won't be able to make the double play and get it over to first, but on the fielder's choice, Bazingo decided to turn it over to Zulu at second. See a discussion going on right now, I guess, protesting whether or not his foot was on the bag or something relating to the out at second. But either way, I believe the call is going to stand, so it will be 2 outs. Still just one runner on first. No meeting of umpires necessary, as that'll bring up Dawson Raymond. Raymond on the season. 8 runs brought in. 2 walks, 2 doubles and 2 triples, but no home runs on the season. Since fouled back into the bleachers. Came in hot, but luckily it didn't collide with anyone. 0-1 the count with 2 outs. Titans have been on the cusp every inning of generating some offensive momentum with a hit and putting runners on base, but just haven't been able to close it out as of late. Slow rolling chopper fielded cleanly. That's not an easy play off the bounce, but Alex Vernon over on first made it look that way, and he's able to return the Silverwolves back to the bats. When we return for the bottom of the 4th, you're watching KSL Sports Rewind. The Riverton Silverwolves, the 6th seed in the 2023 6A Baseball State Championship Tournament, currently lead it 2-1 against the 14th seeded Syracuse Titans. Remington Robbins, Cooper Hansen, and Easton Hicks All due up. It's the back of the batting order. Strike one is delivered by John Atticus. A low delivery that time. Evens the count at 1-1. Robbins on the season, 22 runs brought in, 4 doubles. Two one the count. Rain continues to pour on. Shout out to all the fans who've stuck it out here at UCCU Ballpark. And a reminder, if you want to come here and get in on the action, you can tomorrow as our first game will get underway at 11 o'clock. It'll be between Westlake and the loser of this game. And that will then follow that up with us. That was somehow caught. Oh, my goodness. Fielding that off his thigh, it looked like, and then bringing it into the glove before it could be squeezed in. Wow, what a play by John Atticus, who makes another sensational stand on the mound with the putout. Somehow able to secure that in. That takes incredible concentration and reaction time. So line drive basically launched right at John Atticus, and he was ready for it. And he'll bring up his fellow pitcher, Cooper Hansen. Hansen blasts one high in the left field, giving chase, and making a grab, leaning over the bullpen of the Silverwolves out in left field was Jake Hopkins, making the snag against the opposing pitcher. And just as quick as the inning started, that's 2 outs already now for Riverton, who's in danger of going scoreless in back-to-back innings after putting up 2 in the bottom of the second. Now I'll bring up Easton Hicks. Hicks on the season, 7 runs brought in. That number's now up to 9 after what he did in his previous at-bat. Hansen brought in 21 runs of his own, but didn't get an opportunity to get out there after the sensational stand we just saw. If the Titans do want to win this game, they're going to have to do it while beating Cooper Hansen on the mound, though, and he is 7-0 on the season. An extremely impressive record. As for John Atticus, he's 1-5 overall in the year, but has looked sharp here early. 2-0 the count. Make it 3-0 after another ball delivery there. Hicks, last time we saw him, drove in those 2 runs after he rocketed one into right field. He shows bunt, pulls back. Strike number 1 delivered. All red in the top of the Silverwolves batting order, due up. And a second consecutive strike delivery by John Atticus. Hicks fouls this one off, unplayable. Full count with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Both team offense has gone a little cold here in the 4th inning. We haven't had a scoreless inning since our first inning, with Riverton adding those 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd and Syracuse adding a run in the top of the 3rd. Hicks fouls another off. He'll step out and reset. Then the low delivery there allows Hicks to head over to first via the walk. He's reached base in both of his plate appearances. Caden Allred is looking to reach base for the first time today. Flew out into left field and right field in his 2 previous at-bats. The Silverwolves catcher has been sharp behind home plate early, now looking to get something done while standing over it. John Atticus delivers the first strike. All red, awaiting the delivery from John Atticus. Titans looking to hold the Silverwolves scoreless for the second consecutive inning and then give themselves a chance to tie this one up in the bottom of the fifth. Or excuse me, top of the fifth. 0-2 the count. Excuse me, count currently at 1-1. 2 outs in the inning. Hicks on first. Hicks, one of the state's top football players, a speedy returner, a do-it-all back. This one launched into left field. It'll just bounce in foul territory. But you can see how quick Hicks is a little bit there. You can tell, I didn't think in the outfield, deep in the outfield, I should say. He'll have a chance to score, even all the way over on first with the wheels he's got. Made some impressive plays as a returner this past football season, and you can tell he's eager to run the base pads in a moment. All red will reset, and we'll do it again with the 1-2 count. All red awaiting the delivery. He lets the low pitch pass, and Hicks easily slides into second, and as we've seen so many players do, actually slides over second base and has to stretch out his hand to keep a body part on the base pad to allow himself to be safe. So Hicks successfully steals second. 2-2 the count now, facing all red as he resets. John Atticus looking for his 5th strikeout of the day. And instead it'll be fouled off by all red to stay alive in the count. He was a little late on it and reached for it. The 2-2 count with 2 outs. Outside delivery brings us to full count. It's a count we've been to many a times today. In fact, back in that first inning, we had Edwards, Purcell, and Vernon, who if the inning was to continue, we would see all of them go, or they will all be on deck up to bat and in the hole, each of them, when we return to the bats for Riverton. But each of them reached full count. All Reds done so here now, waiting for the pitch from John Atticus. First we'll have a time called, as we see our home plate umpire just got to step out and shake his head no. Do see some action for the Silverwolves in their bullpen. Hansen's been hit a couple times now, so more than likely just want to stay ready, but expect him to close it out still. Full count. This one ripped into right field, but Raymond gets under it and makes the grab. Titans still just hanging around, trailing by a run. Can they get back into it in the 5th? Stay with us to find out on KSL Sports Rewind.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
The Silverwolves still lead it entering the top of the 5th, but they've decided to change their pitcher, or excuse me, it actually is still Cooper Hansen. Had his number a little mixed up for a second, but Cooper Hansen still on the mound. It just took him a really long time to get out there. I'm sure all of you noticed our lengthy break we had there for a moment. So for a moment, thought it was a different pitcher just based on the number of the angle. But still Hansen, who's been sharp early, undefeated on the season, 7-0. Facing off against, or was it misfielded? It was Austin Burton right away, but then Burton misplayed it. It looked like Burton was going to be able to collect the line drive, but instead, that's a runner on base. So Burton with the line drive base hit, his first base appearance of the day. Tatum Martin now due up. Or excuse me, he also in his previous at-bat had a line drive. He rocked into center field. And before that was retired on a line drive over to Mazzano. Martin retired at first on the sacrifice bunt, but does advance the tying run over to second. So action coming as fast and furious here in the top of the 5th. That one deflected off the foot of Hopkins. So he walked at his 2 previous plate appearances, and that time was just hit by a pitch. Now bring up Taggart Hamblin, who struck out in his first plate appearance, and then had a sacrifice fly. He drove out into right field to bring in the first run of the day. This could be it for Hansen potentially. No one actively warming up in the bullpen, but the Silverwolves did have a few guys that they were talking about going to and had warming up for a little bit. But at the moment, it looks like Hansen's going to stay out there. Hamblin, Miles, and Hopkins due up on deck and in the hole, respectively. It's a Riverton team that's eager to repeat as state champions. And they would have a rematch set with American Fork if they were able to get the win here. Hamblin makes his way up now. Hansen's gotten his team out of a few jams early on today. So Hopkins, after being hit by that pitch, able to make it over to first. Martin was retired on the sacrifice bunt, but before that you had Burton on his line drive that was misfielded, and it was charged as an error against the Silverwolves. 1-0 the count. Hansen in danger of loading the bases with just 1 out. Pick-off attempt down to first. Did they get it? Wow! What incredible placement on the throw from Caden Allred. Located it perfectly right down that first base line that allowed Vernon to get his glove down there and not only and catch it and have to move not even an inch maybe for the tag out. What an incredible play there as Brock Hopkins is retired. .3-0 the count. Hamblin bites on that one ahead in the count, 3-1. 2 outs in the inning. What started out so promising for the Titans has quickly turned into another scenario with 2 outs. Hansen. It's Hamblin to bite on another. It's now got him in full count. The differential. And a low delivery that time brings us to full count. Was originally 2-2, so I misspoke before. As there is actually a little bit of miscommunication now. I think they are trying to say, so maybe I was correct. The fans are very emphatic about it, to say the least, about what they believe it is. But yeah, I thought it might have been 3-0-2. So, and it looks like that is what Syracuse is currently arguing over right now. And we see the Titans just very irate at that decision. Syracuse head coach Trevor Thomas pleading his case, but it goes to no avail. Coach Applegate and his squad still holding on to that 2-1 lead. The full count delivery from Hansen. And Hamblin goes down swinging, but it was a drop 3. They got to recollect themselves, and they get it over to first in time. See Coach Thomas still appears a little frustrated about it, still trying to check and ask, and that's exactly what we're going to stay with you for a second to focus on here is see Coach Thomas really frustrated as he heads over. It's not going to change anything either way. Bottom of the 5th coming up in a moment. Coach Thompson frustrated, felt like there was 3 balls called, but at the end of the day, it does not matter, and we had move on to the bottom of the 5th on KSL Sports Rewind.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
We apologize for the lengthy delay, but there was long discussions between coaches, UHSAA, staff members, umpires, everyone discussing that kind of controversial. I mean, we up here in the booth thought it was ball 4. Our home plate umpire said it was just ball 3 again. Then we had the strikeout after, but either way, there was a long discussion about what they wanted to do, if they were going to go back and redo it, if they were just going to leave it as it was. I mean, it played out over a 5-minute stretch, but either way, here we are, bottom of the 5th. Our score remains unchanged as Edwards fouls it back. It'll be Edwards, Pearsall, and Vernon all due up here. You can tell Coach Thomas is still pretty fired up about that call. That he feels like his team was in many ways, and probably rightfully so, as I said, as this one's lifted into right field and easily collected by Curtis. I've got to imagine we'll hear from Coach Thomas and them tomorrow, making a complaint or something potentially about that decision. Either way, one out now in the bottom. Oh, 1 the count. Wide delivery brings it to 1-1. John Atticus has been sharp here, and that time gets Purcell to bite on another pitch. Purcell struck out the last time we saw him, and before that had the walk. 1-2 the count. Silverwolves looking to bat just 2 more times and hoping they don't need to go again in the 7th. As for Syracuse, they're looking to extend this one a little bit or just force them to bat in the bottom of the 7th. They're going to need at least 1 more run to tie and force them to do so. It's fouled back into the net. Syracuse now with bodies occupying the bullpen, but no one actively warming up. I believe the rain has stopped, or if it's coming down, it's maybe coming down extremely lightly out there as this ball is lifted into foul territory, so the count remains at 1-2 with 1 out. Edwards, the only batter in the top of the order so far to put a ball in play and reach base while doing so. Some more balls gifted to our umpire. One, two, the count. And that's strike number 3. Purcell, for the second consecutive at-bat, goes down. That'll bring up Alex Vernon. Last time we saw Vernon, he landed on second after launching a double into right field. He's looking for another booming base hit here, trying to mount a little 2-out rally for the 6th-seeded Silverwolves. Vernon blasts the first ball, but it's straight up in the air, flying over in the left center field, and collecting it is Dawson Raymond out in center field, and that'll do it. Probably our fastest inning so far, the bottom of the 5th. We just got 2 to play here in this tightly contested contest on KSL Sports Rewind.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Back here inside UCCU Ballpark, where the 6th inning is set to get underway. It's a 2-1 advantage for the Silverwolves. 1-1 the current count. Miles grounds one, and it's squeezed in, but unable to make the throw in time and on target as it escaped, but it's quickly covered up. Miles never veered from the path, so even though all the fans were, a lot of passionate fans were chanting to tag him, he had never turned enough, so he's able to stay on first and be successfully safe. So Miles with a nice base hit. Good job trapping that one by Mazingo. So Jake Hopkins now due up. Hopkins with a couple of grounders and base hits in his 2 previous plate appearances. We'll have a pinch runner come on now with Hopkins due up. Tying run on base once again. I feel like a broken record. We say that every inning they reach base, but this one could finally be the one where the Titans bring him in. For Syracuse, it's Dallin Michelson, the pinch runner, over on first. So Michelson represents the tying run. Pickoff attempt to first. Was it successful? Oh, you bet. Michelson caught leaking off the base pad a little too far and is retired after because of it. What a great throw that time from Hansen over to Vernon. And Vernon with a successful tag out on first as the pickoff is successful. So just like that, 1 out and no runners on base now. 0-1 the count. This one deflects off the knee of Zulo. And it bounces all the way out into left field. What a terrible, after getting some good luck on their side, then some bad luck. And Hopkins 3 for 3 in plate appearances, as he stretches that one into a double off the infield and outfield chaos that ensued that time around. So Hopkins, the tying run, now at second. 1 out. It's Isaac Turley now due up. Turley struck out in his previous plate appearance, and before that, ripped one into right field. Top of the 6th here at UCCU Ballpark. The count. Said Hansen's given up some base hits here early, but his team's always found a way to respond. Even when the bases are loaded, they always seem to just figure out a way to get out of it. They only have 3 hits on the day, Riverton. Syracuse with 5 in total. It'll be Turley and Curtis, Turley currently batting, Curtis on deck. Turley ahead in the count comfortably, 2-0. Turley crushes one high in the air. Looks like it's going to end up in foul territory, and it will. So brings the count to 2-1 now. Turley ready to tee one off. Count now at 3-1. It's Cooper Hansen looking to find his form. There were bodies early on in this game warming up in the bullpen of the Silverwolves, but they haven't been there as of late. Riverton did have some people, but they're currently retreating them back now. Strike two goes through, so full count with Hopkins at second. Turley with an opportunity to be the hero here for his team and tie the game up if he can just launch one into the outfield in fair play. Turley reached on it. Probably was going to be a ball, but he just didn't want to take the risk. So he rockets that one into his own dugout. Ready for the full count delivery again. Jake Hopkins, the Titans starting quarterback, settled at second. Another ball's fouled off and ends up in the bullpen. Turley resets. Hansen's come up with clutch Ks all day. Can he acquire another here? Instead, it's a low ball in the dirt that escapes Allred back there so badly. It allows Hopkins to head over to third. So now with just one out in the inning and the tying run over at third. Turley at first via the walk. A normal walk would have been slightly costly, but still just a crazy and unfortunate sequence of events that time. Looks like we're going to see a meeting on the mound take place with Curtis due up momentarily. Curtis made good contact on the ball, but has been retired in his two previous plate appearances. He'll look to change that in a moment. It'll be followed by Dawson Raymond. Then we'll turn it over to the top of the order. We sit in the top of the sixth. So Syracuse down to their final 5 outs now if they want to extend this game in extras or just force the Silverwolves to bat in the 7th. As for Riverton, they'll have an opportunity in the bottom of the 6th to extend their 2-1 advantage one last time, but it might not be a 2-1 advantage based on how things are currently trending right now for the Titans offense. Hansen resets. And Syracuse will actually roll with a new hitter as it's going to be Easton Hamblin, the sophomore, looking to make a big play instead of Curtis. Hamblin took a big hack. Misses in his first at-bat. A 1-1 the count. Runners on first and third. Hamblin allows strike two to pass through. Hansen in what could be his 6th and biggest strikeout of the day on deck in a moment. Easton Hamblin wisely lets that high delivery go. Full count off the ball. We know what happened last time we got to full count. Hamblin grounds one and it breaks through. And it's going to score a run as Hopkins comes home. The Titans finally able to tie it up in the top of the 6th. 2 runners on base, just 1 out. Hamblin with the big time grounder. And the clutch RBI Dawson Raymond now due up. Raymond yet to reach base so far. First had a bunt. He was retired on first with, and then his ground ball directed right to first. Hansen shows bunt, pulls back. Riverton thought it might have deflected off the bat for the ball. Instead, they'll say he didn't go, so 1-0 the count. Bunt successful, and got to make the throw over to first in time. It was off target! Off target! And it's going to score, it'll score one run as they're going to have a hold up over at third diving back. But now the Titans take the lead. What a turn of events! Complete chaos and madness taken over. It was originally a well-placed bunt by Raymond. And then on the throwing error over to first, it just was off target. And because of that, 2 runners on, and a run was able to score. 3-2 the differential now. Some kind of discussion about interference potentially, but it was more just like bad circumstances that time around. Syracuse up to 7 hits now in the ball game, and they're going to have a discussion about this. I believe it'll be going over and talking about the interference potentially on first if they thought there was some. So at the moment, it's a 3-2 advantage with still just 1 out in the inning. And the call will stand. So Syracuse has now added 2 runs in the top of the 6th, and they lead it over the Silverwolves 3-2. Austin Burton now due up with Tatum Martin on deck. Burton booms it in the left field. Is it gone? It is! Syracuse completely turns this game on its head. A 3-run shot. Wow! Titans trying to topple the Silverwolves and finding success in the top of the 6th in their quest to do so. Hansen so strong for most of the game, and now it's been rocked a few times. He's given up 5 runs, still just 1 out here. Still no one warming up for the Silverwolves. We'll see if that changes here shortly. But Austin Burton absolutely crushed that one. And it made it up on the burr out in left field. Tatum Martin looking to keep the momentum alive. And now Riverton has a lot of work to do, trailing by 4 runs here. As this one's launched into right field, it sails high. It's going to end up in foul territory and ends up in the very corner between the bullpen. Ends up in the corner between the bullpen and foul territory. So 0-1 the count. And it's another base hit. The Silverwolves bats stay hot. We'll see Hansen in the infield talking things over here. This could be it. Coach Applegate may decide to make a change. In fact, it looks like he will. So Hansen's day is over. As he heads in, we'll let you know about the new pitcher coming into this game when we return to the mound in a moment on KSL Sports Rewind.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Riverton has turned to Dylan Zulo to try to get themselves out of this one after Martin just had a massive base hit himself. We had the 3-run homers. We had 5 runs scored in the top of the 6th. This game's completely turned on its head now. 8 hits to 3, the differential currently for Syracuse. One 0 the count. Dylan Zulo, the junior, 5'11", 165. He needs to deliver a couple of outs here for the Silverwolves. Count currently 1-0. Low delivery for 3 straight balls. Delivered by Zolo. And Zulo walks the first batter he faces with 4 straight pitches. Taggart Hamblin now due up. Last time we saw him struck out, but before that sent a sacrifice fly into right field. Also struck out in his first plate appearance. Riverton really coming undone here late. They got a lot of work to do. They're going to have 2 opportunities at the bats to do so. Six to 2, the differential in this one. We apologize for having the score flip there for a moment. 1-1 the count with 1 out and 2 runners on base. Hamblin with a grounder that's fielded cleanly. Opportunity for the force out, and they're able to make it. So off a much-needed double play, the Titans finally retired by the Silverwolves, but not before 5 runs were given up. 6-2 the differential. Riverton on the offensive when we return on KSL Sports Rewind.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Welcome back into UCCU Ballpark for the bottom of the 6th inning, which is set to get underway momentarily. It'll be Zulo, Moody, and Robbins all up as Riverton looks to trim what has now become a 4-run deficit here late. Outside delivery for ball 1. Zulo so far today grounded out to third the last time we saw him, and before that struck out. John Atticus still standing tall on the mound. He's been strong for most of the day, only gave up those 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, and since 3 straight innings, surrendering nothing to the bats of the Silverwolves. But unfortunately that time, ends up hitting Zulo, who heads over to first. Moody struck out the last time we saw him. Before that, was able to walk over to first. Six-2 the differential, still no outs. Juicy's body's actively warming up for the Titans should they be called upon. Syracuse looking to claim victory here. Two-0 the count. Count now at 2-1. Pickoff attempt to first, off target, so had to be collected. Pitchers are finished warming up at the moment for the Titans, but we'll see if they decide to swap and put someone in. Silverwolves also have people currently warming up, and as they'll try to close this one out. This ball's lifted into left field, but does end up in foul territory. 2-2 the count. This one launched in the left field and will once again bounce in foul territory, so we'll redo the 2-2 count. While we have a second, let's take a look at how we reached this point. First action of the day was Pleasant Grove, the 8th seed, taking on the top seed, the Skyreach Falcons. That game ended 1-0 as neither team could gain an advantage. There was over 20 combined strikeouts in that contest. In the end, the Falcons were able to score a late walk-off run in the bottom of the 8th. Moody goes down looking as he strikes out for the second consecutive at-bat. First out of the inning. Robbins now due up. Robbins, last time we saw him, was retired after drilling one directly to Atticus, who was able to grab it on the mound and make a play. Walked in his previous plate appearance before that. Starts it off with ball one here. In our second game of the day between Mountain Ridge and Bingham, the 5th-seeded Sentinels took on the 13th-seeded Miners. In that bout, it was pretty close early on, but then Mountain Ridge able to really open things up as the game wore on and thus complete the 10-3 victory in a normal 7 innings. American Fork and Westlake were also close early, but the Cavemen opened that one up and went on to win it 9-3. They await the winner of this one, while the Thunder await the loser. 3-0 the count. Count was at 3-0, but finding the strike zone there was Atticus. Robbins was nearly retired. That ball couldn't be fielded cleanly, but was at least knocked down. We'll have the full count pitch coming up next. As Zulo able to safely reach second. Remington Robbins awaits the full count delivery. And he goes down swinging. Robinson's is retired. Back-to-back strikeouts for Dom John Atticus. The Titans are now 4 outs away from closing out the upset victory over last year's state champions. One-0 the count. Hanson reached base in his first plate appearance and then fouled out the last time we saw him. Count currently at 1-1. Hanson cracks one into right field. It's going to take a bounce, so it's going to score a run for the Silverwolves. Will now trail by just 3. This is going to be it for Atticus, so we'll step away while they make a pitching change. Just 1 out away from getting into the 7th on KSL Sports Rewind.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Andrew Sprague now due up, the senior pitcher, looking to close this one out for Syracuse. 6-3, the differential. 1 out, 1 runner on base after Hansen just drove in a run. Hansen himself currently settled in at first. Hicks up to bat for the 3rd time today. The 2-run blast the first time we saw him in terms of RBIs, and then the walk. 2 straight strike deliveries from Sprague. And 3 straight strike deliveries equals a strikeout for Andrew Sprague, who comes in and shuts down the Silverwolves in his first stint on the mound. We are on to the 7th, final opportunity for the Titans to extend it, the Silverwolves to get back into it. We are still rolling at 10:26. Stay with us on KSL Sports Rewind.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Easton Hicks, the new Silverwolf, hitching on the mound, looking to retire Carson Mills, Jake Hopkins, and Isaac Turley, and then give his team an opportunity to get back on the offensive. They'll need 3 runs in order to win this one in the bottom of the 7th. This game becomes so much more important since whoever loses this one is going to be going on not a lot of sleep, as they will have to get back up here over less than 12 hours. We'll be right back at this ballpark getting ready for the first game between Westlake and the loser of this contest. So both these teams desperate to avoid that one and land in that 4:30 afternoon slot, as it means just more rest for them and time to recharge. Hicks low on the first delivery. Hicks, the 6 foot, 175. Just one of the best athletes in the state. Pretty much anything he can do on the baseball field, he could do it on the football field. Although right now he's still trying to find the strike zone. He is 2-0 in the count. Miles allows the first strike through. Ground ball fielded cleanly down to Parasol on first. And he is retired, him being Miles. Jake Hopkins now due up. Hopkins has had a sensational day. I mean, grounded, 2 hard-hit grounders to third, allowed him to reach base in his first 2 plate appearances, and then he rocketed one into right field, and he was the initial run driven in by Easton Hamblin that broke or allowed them to tie this game up. This ball chopped into foul territory. Oh, 0-1 the count after the foul off. Hicks brings the heat for strike 2. That one just to the outside. The Silverwolf faithful booing as they thought that was strike 3. 1-2 the count. Ground ball can't be fielded as it squeezes just past Vernon on first. Hopkins with his 4th base hit of the day. What a performance we're seeing from the Titans left fielder. I'll bring up Isaac Turley. The count on the high delivery there. Turley in his first plate appearance drove one into right field, then struck out, then a walk the last time we saw him. It was one of the runs driven in that productive top of the 6th. He's up to bat. 1-1 the count. Hicks nearly gets Turley to bite on it, but they'll say he pulled back just enough. Ball 2. Silverwolves faithful booing strongly. Hicks able to find the zone there, evening the count at 2-2. 1 out in the inning. Turley fouls it off back into his own foot, so the count will remain at 2-2. Turley steps out, refocuses. Coach Applegate, so much postseason success. The reigning state champions looking to advance, but currently trailing by 3 runs. Coach Trevor Thomas and his team coming off an upset versus Fremont, looking to upset Riverton here. Full count. Hicks. Slightly high on the delivery, and that'll put 2 base runners on. Kyson Curtis now due up after Turley was able to walk for the second straight at bat. Curtis due up. Last time we saw Hamblin, the pinch hitter. But this time will be Curtis again. Curtis was retired in his 2 previous plate appearances, and it was Hamblin batting in his place who drove in the run. Oh, 1 the count. Oh, 2 the count after Hicks gets Curtis to bite on a pitch. Curtis fouls it off just to stay alive. Dawson Raymond on deck. Last time we saw him, he drove in a run too. Off a well-placed bunt. Led to some, and there were a couple of errors too. There's been 4 errors charged on Riverton too. That's another wild stat for you. Hicks slightly low on the delivery that time. 2-2 the count. Riverton fans watching on nervously. One, 2 the count. Or excuse me, I believe the count's 3-2 now. The scoreboard got a little confused out there. And Hicks with another low delivery, so I guess that was the full count pitch now. So he's correct on this one. So now 3-2. Hicks was ahead in the count, 2-0 early on. Has now allowed Curtis back into it. See if he can close it out in a moment. Instead, it's fouled off again. Three-two the count. Curtis fouls it off again to stay alive. Full count. Curtis. And that wild pitch squeezes away, so the bases are loaded. And because of the kind of lackadaisical approach for a moment by Allred, They nearly allowed them to steal home, but either way, the bases are loaded. God, you got to feel like the Silverwolves are frustrated at themselves after that one, really letting a golden opportunity get the second out here, slip away. Back-to-back walks given up by Hicks after getting ahead in the count, 2-0-2. So they'll talk things over with Hicks on the mound. I'll be interested to see what Syracuse, where they're located at. I'd be interested to know whether they're just going to stay at a hotel out here potentially, or if they have to drive all the way back and then go back up. I know a number of people here are going to have to make the drive and then get back up here bright and early tomorrow morning. When we get it under, I shouldn't say bright and early, but 11 o'clock is going to end up being early when you won't get out of here till 11 o'clock. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams handle the quick turnaround, especially the losing team versus a well-rested Westlake team. It's the tough part about how these brackets can break out sometimes. (6-3) the differential still. So now due up is Dawson Raymond. This game completely turned back in the top of the 6th, and in the top of the 7th, there's just still one out with 3 runners on base. (1-0) the count. Count moves to 1-1 off that strike delivery. I mentioned Raymond drove in a run the last time we saw him, and before that was retired at first in his 2 previous plate appearances. Hicks in danger of walking in a run. His current streak continues. And it did hit him. So a tough break there for the Silverwolves as they allow another run to come in, this one via the hit by pitch. So 7-3 our score. It's now a 4-run advantage. Raymond. Delivers the first strike of the at-bat. Raymond was able to walk. The 3rd consecutive walk surrendered by Hicks. This one's fouled off. 2-0 the count. Hicks has been in this position, though, too, and just hasn't been able to close it out. Will that change here? Facing off against Burton. This will be the 5th time Burton's batting, and the last time we saw him, he just launched a home run. That 3-run shot really changed the complexion of this game. He's eager to get an opportunity to do so again, I'm sure. One, 2 the count. Hicks. And finally, Hicks able to return to form and get the K. He had been so close with the previous 3 batters, but gets it done there, retiring Austin Burton, who we just saw smash that home run in the previous inning. 2 outs now. 3 runners on base still. And the Silverwolves still trailing by 4. Tatum Martin, last time we saw Martin, had a well-hit ground ball that broke into left field. Before that, Martin was retired via the bunt, had a walk in his 2nd plate appearance, and then struck out. Martin allows the outside delivery to pass. 2-0 the count. Every batter moving on contact. Martin dodges the inside delivery, the third straight one by Hicks. Hicks in danger of walking in more runs. Count it 2-1. Make it 2-2 now. And the reaching strike 3. So Martin goes downswing. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hicks, who rises up for his team to hold Syracuse just 1 run, but it's still a 4-run difference. It's going to take everything the Silverwolves got to get back into this one. Stay with us to find out if they can complete it on KSL Sports Rewind. Three runners were left stranded on base in the top of the 7th. But the difference still 7-3. Riverton, last year's state champions, in danger of going down to their final life if they are unable to claim a victory here and score 4 runs. Andrew Sprague, the senior, looking to close it out for the Titans, who continue to be hotter than fish grease in this one. Another near inside delivery. In fact, I guess it did hit. So Allred takes that pitch. Or he's going to say he didn't see it hit him. There's a discussion going on as they say they didn't see it hit him. Allred, last time we saw him, it's been lots of flyouts today. He flew out to right field in his 2 previous plate appearances and then flew out to center field. The count, though. 2 straight balls delivered by Sprague. The 14th seeded Titans. They looked sharp against Granger early, but then people were curious, would they be able to keep that same momentum taking on Fremont? And they were somehow able to and get the upset. This ball ripped into right field, and it'll be a base hit. Allred, his first of the day. So Allred on first now after rocketing one to right field. Zach Edwards now due up. We'll have a pinch runner come on in his place. And that pinch runner for Riverton is going to be Ty Curtis. Edwards now due up. Last time we saw him flew out to right field. Before that, fouled out to the catcher, and then also placed one in the shallow center field. Edwards That's the first low delivery pass. Sprague. Tries to check it over to first unsuccessfully. Edwards. Able to watch the off-target delivery pass by him. As Sprague has him 1-1 in the count now. 9 hits for the Titans, 5 for the Silverwolves. 4 errors against Riverton have proven really costly. Riverton led this game for 4 innings as this ball's boomed into foul territory. But they led this game heading into the top of the 6th, and since it's been all Titans as they have completely taken over those 5 runs in the top of the 5th. We had the huge 3-run homer by Austin Burton. Hamblin, Raymond drove in some big-time runs too. Allowed them to take what was the time was a 6-2 advantage. And then each team's added a run in the bottom of the 6th and top of the 7th, respectively. Edwards skies it into center field, called for and collected by the left field, but it has actually dropped. But it's going to be the force out at second, so they're able to get an out all the same. So Edwards actually going to be able to be safe after it was Hopkins made the drop, but then he was thrown out. After that, Hopkins made the grab and was able to throw it to second, and Allred was forced to hold up, so ends up still kind of being a little bit of a negative play. The result ended up being the same, still an out, and if anything, it works out worse for the Titans because the further advancing runner there would have been retired, although either way probably would have ended up on first based on the location of where that catch would have been made. There wouldn't have been a tag-up opportunity, really, so not a huge differential for the Silverwolves, but we're still worked out all right for the Titans. One the count. Syracuse 2 outs away from upsetting last year's champion, and the 14th seeded Titans would be able to advance to take on the 7th seeded American Fork Cavemen. Drake Purcell struck out the last 2 times we saw him. That time was hit by a pitch. Silverwolf fans protesting that it didn't hit him, but what's not going to change our home umpire's mind. Runners on first and second. Silverwolves still with a chance here. If Vernon was able to reach base or drive in a few runs, the tying run is technically on deck at the moment. So a grand slam to force extra. It's been a crazy day to kick off bracket play at UCCU. Oh, to the count. Sprague closing in on a K, and thus the second out of the inning and inching them one step closer to the win. Vernon fouls it back to stay alive. Vernon reached base in his second at-bat on a nice shot. He drilled into right field on a double, but outside of that struck out and flew out to right field. He launches this one into center field. Called for and collected it. Nearly looked like we were going to see guys collide that time, but Raymond able to make the grab, retiring Vernon, and that means the Silverwolves are down to their final out Still a glimmer of hope as they still trail, as they could get two runners, as they get a runner on base here and then do something insane like hit a grand slam. But odds of that obviously extremely slim, but can't count them completely out right now. But comeback chances definitely still slim. 2 outs. Sprague looking to close it out. Dillon is a low. Now due up. Another strike delivery by Sprague. Zolo launches one. That'll take a bounce in shallow left field. Silverwolves going to send a run home. And he'll score. So it's now a 3-run game. And really unchanged, still 2 runners on first and second. Off the Zolo shot in the left field. Moody now due up. Moody, 2 strikeouts in his previous plate appearances and a walk. Sprague so close to that last out and advancing Syracuse into tomorrow's game against American Fork at 4:30. Moody awaits the delivery from Sprague. This one ripped into right field. It'll take a bounce. And more Silverwolves are coming home. Sliding home safely was Persall. So once again, we have a Riverton run that scores. It's now a 2-run differential, 7-5. Meaning the tying run now at home plate. Moody with his first base hit of the day, and it was a huge one. The entire infield talking things over. So 7-5. Syracuse looks like they were in strong position to close that one out, but that could be changing. Remington, Robbins, now due up. Robbins on the season, no home runs. If he was somehow able to drill his first here, it would be a walk-off 8-7 victory for the Silverwolves. But if nothing else, the tying run now on first in Moody. Zolo now at second. Sprague, 3 outs, 3 strikes away from getting the final out needed to end this game. We just had one meeting take place inside the circle, and now because of the magnitude of it, we're going to see another take place. Coach Trevor Thomas now makes his way over to the mound. And they're actually going to make a change with Sprague as they take him out. And they're going to put in Calder Millard, the junior pitcher, 5'10", 175. Millard looking to close out what Dom Jontakis started. A reminder of how tomorrow's action is going to play out. The loser of this game will take on Westlake at 11 o'clock. The winner of this game will be in action at 4:30, taking on American Fork. In between those games, we'll have Pleasant Grove taking on Bingham at 1:30. And then we'll have Sky Ridge taking on Mountain Ridge in our nightcap at 7 o'clock. Millard comes in a huge moment for his team. Looking to punctuate what would be an absolutely incredible win. 7-5, the differential, those 9 hits for the Titans really helping propel them to the win, although Riverton has very much so closed that deficit. They've had a ton of hits here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 runs they've scored in this 7-5 game, 2 runs they've scored in the bottom of the 7th, making it a 7-5 game. Robbins with a great opportunity. Millard and Robbins both looking to be the hero, but only one can. 2 outs, 2 runners on base. The tying run at first. Millard. Delivers strike 1. 2 away from the win. Robbins grounds it. It's bobbled for a moment. Can they get over the first in time? No, they can't. Wow! What incredible effort by Robbins, able to make it safely to first just in time. Bases are loaded. The tying run on second. Cooper Hansen, the pitcher who was so dominant for most of this game, an opportunity coming in now to continue to dominate and seal a victory for the Silverwolves. Hansen allows the first ball to pass to the outside. Bases are loaded. As I said, that tying run on second. Hansen, last time we saw him, drove in a run. If he was able to do that, this would be a 1-run game. The count will even at 1-1 off the strike delivery from Millard, the junior. High delivery for ball 2. Two won the count. Hansen. That's another outside pitch through. Hansen able to walk to first, and thus the 6th run is coming in via a walk. Seven to 3 was the difference heading into the bottom, or the top of the bottom of the 7th, and now it's a 7-6 game. Easton Hicks drove in 2 runs early on in this one, back in the bottom of the 2nd. Doing so here would allow Riverton to come back and claim an unbelievable victory. But Millard still looking to get it done for his squad. He delivers the strike there. Calder Millard, the junior, 1 pitch away from giving Titans the win. Won't come on the outside delivery there. As ball number 1 is delivered. Hicks made some huge hits on the day. One here could change the game. And the Titans have done it. 7-6. They complete the upset over the Silverwolves. The definition of hard fought, emotional. They battled the weather. They battled the bats of the Silverwolves. There was even some crazy calls by umpires made in this one. It was a wild finish. And in the end, it ends with a Syracuse Titans 7-6 upset victory over last year's state champions, the Riverton Silverwolves. What an incredibly hard-fought game by both sides, back and forth all the way. That top of the 6th, in which 5 runs were poured on by Syracuse, ended up being the difference and lifted them to the 7-6 advantage. As we just saw the 14th seeded Titans topple the 6th seeded Riverton Silverwolves. So Riverton in action tomorrow versus Westlake. And as for Syracuse, they're taking on the Cavemen of American Fork. That is less than 12 hours from right now. We will be back with you at UCCU Ballpark. And that is going to do it for us up here in the booth. But once again, your final 7-6. The Syracuse Titans secure the upset over the Riverton Silverwolves. For my cameraman, Vince Francis, and all the hardworking men and women here at UCCU Ballpark, I'm JT Wistersill. We'll see you tomorrow.